Stampers, it's Christy with Stampin' Texas. Well, I've had many requests for how to create this beautiful wreath, and so I thought I would show you in this video how you can do a couple different kinds of wreaths. They're lots of fun, and once you learn a few tips and tricks, I think you'll really enjoy making them for your Christmas cards as well. Now, this is going to be part 1 of 2, because I want to take the time to show you the wreath and kind of go step by step with the Big Shot how to cut it out. And then in the part 2, I'll put this card together for you and give you all the colors and the measurements and everything like that. So let's get started making a beautiful wreath. Now I just got just scratch paper, some white scratch paper, and I want to show you the stamps that we're going to be using is the new Wondrous Wreath. It's a photopolymer set. That basically means that you'll be able to see right through it. It's a clear image. They stick really well onto the blocks. I really like them. So this particular wreath, I'm starting with this image. This gives all the leaves on the wreath, and you'll notice this little piece down at the bottom. That just basically tells me that that is the bottom of the stamp, and as I layer the different images on top, I know kind of where to gauge and how to stamp it. Now, one thing I do that helps me, here's a little tip, I just put a little dot or something with a pencil or a pen down at the bottom of my paper. So just in case by the time I stamp on it and end up over at the Big Shot, if this gets turned around, I still know where the bottom of the image is. Now, the one wreath, you'll notice this one has 2 tones. There's a dark leaf and a light leaf. And I'm going to just kind of play around with some different greens to show you how you can get that effect too. So I'm going to use Wild Wasabi. That's going to be my lighter green. So whichever greens you choose, just go with the lighter one first. And it's going to go all over like that. I just make sure everything's inked up. And then I'm going to go right here to my page. Okay, just like that. Now you'll notice that little piece, it didn't actually stamp anything, which is fine, but I know now that that's the bottom of the image. Now, to get the darker one, I'm just going to simply take this one off, and usually I would wash it, but for our time today, I'm not going to. I'll just take that off. Here's the second image, and it's just the little leaves, kind of like the highlighted leaves. And now I'm going to do a darker green. I'm going to get the garden green. So you do your lighter first, then your darker. You're going to just ink that up. Again, since I know that the bottom is down here, I'm just going to look through this and I can see right where I'm going, and those leaves layer right on top. Isn't that pretty? I love the two-tone look of that. Now the last thing we're going to do for the stamping is these are the little berries. Again, you've got your little tab on the bottom. Now keep in mind, photopolymer, they will stain, especially when you use reds and pinks and things. They'll definitely stain. Don't let that bother you though. Just the way it is. Alright, so again, I'm going to position that along the bottom. And I'm kind of just looking through there, and I can just tweak it a little bit where I want to go. But you know what the best thing is about the berries? Even if you don't get it lined up exactly, it still looks really good, no matter which way you go. Isn't that cute? So in 3 simple steps, you've got a beautiful wreath. Now let me get my Big Shot into the screen here and move out some of these ink pads and things. My space is kind of tight, but I definitely want to show you how to cut this out. The magnetic platform comes in very handy with cutting out images like this. So I've got my magnetic platform first, then I'm going to put my cutting pad, then I'm going to put my image down that I just stamped. Now look at these framelits. Isn't this cool? They created the framelit with that same little piece hanging down. And we're going to just basically put that on there, and I turn it just enough, and I can kind of tell where the bottom is now. Like that. And we have our inside piece as well with that little tab, and I just lay that on there, and it kind of covers up the image, and I can tell, okay, it's ready to go. Here's another hint. If you'll put down your cutting pad that you've cut on many times on the bottom first, and use a semi-clear one for the top, it just really helps. Then you can watch and see, make sure nothing shifts on you. And then when you've got it, you just pop it out. Isn't that the cutest? Then you have a beautiful wreath. So easy, and especially if you have kind of an assembly line going and you need a lot in a time. They're so much fun to make with many different greens. So this was part 1 to show you the wreath, and now stay tuned for part 2, and I'm going to show you how to put this particular card together. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have any questions, just let me know. And for more fun Christmas card ideas, be sure to check out my website, stampintx.com. Thank you!